Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the greatest video games ever created. I remember when I was a kid, I have always loved the design of Sonic the Hedgehog. Hell, I always referred to him as a blue guy and Mario as a red guy. I haven't been introduced to Sonic the Hedgehog until I saw a magazine introducing the Blue Blur. I have been so fixated on his design I have literally cut him out and took him everywhere with me in elementary school. Unfortunately, I got picked on because every classmate, if not most of them, were Mario fans. Even though the first game I've picked up as a kid on a Nintendo Entertainment System was Super Mario Bros. 2, my ever first Sonic the Hedgehog game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Game Gear. One of my older cousins from Denver decided to bring her Sega Game Gear with the game, where I have been hooked ever since. I've loved the level design of Underground Zone. I've loved the music. I loved the attitude he had given the audience. It all screamed awesome to me, and I never regretted a moment of playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Unfortunately, my history of playing Sonic the Hedgehog came to a complete halt when my cousin stopped bringing her Sega Game Gear. I know she still has it to this day because I always seem to ask my aunt about it every time I come and visit her. Then I got introduced to the Mega Sonic Collection for the PC. My dad happened to get a hold of this pack when it was on sale at Walmart. It includes Sonic & Knuckles Collection, Sega Smash Pack 2, Sonic CD, and Sonic R. The game that stuck out the most for me was Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. I don't know why exactly, but maybe it had something to do with that cool red guy, Knuckles the Echidna. I never understood his character design back then, but I know I couldn't stop playing as Knuckles when I keep playing the game. I got introduced to Knuckles' personality when my sister picked up Sonic Adventure DX for the Nintendo GameCube, where my love for Knuckles have skyrocketed. Despite the fact that I've played Sonic Adventure DX back when I was in middle school as well as high school, my attachment was towards Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Nintendo GameCube. I was first introduced to this game when my other cousin brought it down. It was then that my love towards Sonic Adventure 2 have increased. I have always found the fascination of finally playing the bad guys in the game. My sister eventually picked up a copy for herself on the Nintendo GameCube, where I haven't stopped playing the game since. Unfortunately, it eventually got to the point where it has seen better days. Even when I got a used GameCube from GameStop, this game still would not work. Trust me, it's not the GameCube I'm having issues with. Have you not seen my Luigi's Mansion Let's Play? Anyway, because of the so many scratches the game has taken through the history of having it, my love towards Sonic Adventure 2 came to a complete halt. However, thanks to the PlayStation Network, it brought back Sonic Adventure and just recently Sonic Adventure 2. My question is, why the hell do they have to have you buy the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle as a DLC pack to have additional content? I really saw no difference, but since I have played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and now Sonic Adventure 2, I figured why the heck not. Despite having issues of downloading the game, I finally got to playing a game that was the source of my middle school years, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Since this game happens to be everyone's favorite 3D game, and it certainly shows, it's still number 1 as a top 10 games on Game FAQs in the GameCube section, I will not go deep within the history of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and how it came to be. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle had originated from Sonic Adventure 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, which is a sequel to Sonic Adventure which originally released in 1998. Sonic Adventure 2 was soon released 3 years after. The game commemorated the 10th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog series. Unfortunately, this title was the last to be released for the Sega platform. Due to Sega's exit from the video game console manufacturing business, the game was ported to the Nintendo GameCube retitled as Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, with brand new features as well as minor changes to the level design. It is the 7th chronological installment in the series. It follows the protagonist team of Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles the Echidna, and Miles Tails Prower, and the antagonist team of Shadow the Hedgehog, Rouge the Bat, and Dr. Eggman, and their attempt to work together in order to save the world from destruction. This game was a huge success, receiving generally positive reviews. However, criticism was directed towards its camera system and side characters. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle had less positive reception than it was for the original Dreamcast release. Despite its mixed reception, however, Battle has also a commercial success, selling more than 1 million copies worldwide and becoming the 10th best-selling Nintendo GameCube game of all time. History aside, the story is what brought out the best of Sonic Adventure 2. With that said, let's dive right in. After the events of Sonic Adventure, Dr. Eggman had discovered the existence of a secret weapon mentioned in a diary of his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik. This weapon turned out to be a black hedgehog named Shadow, who claims that he is the ultimate life form. When released from his capture, he had granted Dr. Eggman one wish, which turned out to be world domination. With the wish granted, Shadow tells the scientists to meet him at the abandoned space colony Ark with more Chaos Emeralds. While Dr. Eggman researches for space colony Ark, Shadow proceeds in stealing one of the emeralds, making GUN officials mistake him for Sonic the Hedgehog. Shadow then has a flashback during these events to the final moments of a young girl named Maria, begging him to do an unspecified task, which he interprets as a request for revenge. Sonic is arrested shortly after he confronts Shadow, who demonstrates the Chaos Control technique. Meanwhile, Knuckles confronts both Rouge the Bat and Eggman, who attempt to steal the Master Emerald, rendering him to shatter the Master Emerald to prevent it, then proceeding to search for the shards and restore the Emerald. While Rouge also intends to collect the shards for personal benefit, she was also tasked to accomplish a mission for the government to spy on Eggman. This mission causes her to infiltrate Dr. Eggman's base, which also leads her to the Ark, where Shadow relays his plan to Dr. Eggman to use the Chaos Emeralds to charge a super weapon on the Ark, known as the Eclipse Cannon, to take over the world. To accomplish this, they also recruit Rouge to assist in the search of the Chaos Emeralds. Tails and Amy infiltrate Prison Island to rescue Sonic from GUN, while Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge collect the 3 emeralds on the island, which they then proceed on destroying. After this, Eggman then broadcasts his press across the planet and demonstrates the cannon's level of power by destroying half of the moon, which oddly enough never shows in any other Sonic game that the moon was blown in half. I never really figured that out. How the hell did the moon become whole again? Did Eggman feel bad and rebuilt it? Hell if I know, but moving on with the plot, Sonic and his team use the final emerald in their possession to track down the other 6, with Knuckles coming along as well. Together the group infiltrates Eggman's base, boarding Eggman's shuttle as it launches into space. During the ride toward Ark, however, Knuckles decides to play captain and commandeer the shuttle. Oh Knuckles, how I love your stubborn will in assisting the others when your main objective is to protect the Master Emerald. Because of this, Knuckles' Master Emerald shards are spilled and he leaves the group to collect them, which leads to him meeting up with Rouge again. During the fight, Knuckles saves Rouge from the death of falling into the magma, which renders Rouge to surrender her collected shards, finally allowing Knuckles to restore the Master Emerald. On the Ark, Tails reveals that he has created a clone of the Chaos Emerald designed to reverse the effects of the real emeralds to destroy the Eclipse Cannon. Sonic goes to place the fake emeralds in the cannon until Eggman announces he had captured Amy. Sonic tries to give Eggman the fake emerald, but at the last second Eggman traps and releases Sonic in an escape pod rigged with explosives. Using the fake emerald, Sonic manages to perform Chaos Control and escape before it explodes. Tails, thinking Sonic is dead, fights Eggman once more. Shadow is then sent to intercept Sonic before he destroys the Eclipse Cannon, but Sonic succeeds. Once Eggman collects all the 7 Chaos Emeralds and attempts to fire the Eclipse Cannon at full power, a failsafe activates and a recorded message is broadcast by the late Gerald Robotnik. It explains that the Ark will make its route to collide into Earth, causing it to destroy it as revenge against the humanity for condemning him and his research, as well as killing his granddaughter Maria and numerous colleagues on board the Ark. Everyone then agrees to work together to neutralize the Chaos Emeralds with the Master Emerald and stop the collision. Shadow initially does not participate due to his apathy for humankind. However, Amy's pleading reminds him of Maria's true request to serve as a benefit for society. Rendering him to his true colors, he proceeds to catch up with Sonic and Knuckles after they make their way to the core. After disabling the various security features guarding the cannon's core, Sonic and Knuckles encounter the Bio Lizard, a prototype of the ultimate life form. Now, let's stop here. Shadow claimed that he was the ultimate life form, but is trumped by a gigantic fucked up version of Godzilla's long-lost cousin who happens to roar like a damn tiger? Anyway, Bio Lizard is awoken from stasis to ensure that the emeralds will not be tampered with. While Shadow takes care of his biological brother, this allowed Sonic and Knuckles to deactivate the Chaos Emeralds using a repaired Master Emerald. Unfortunately for them, the injured Bio Lizard uses Chaos Control to fuse with the Eclipse Cannon, becoming the final hazard and continuing the Ark's collision course by physically dragging it along. Using the power of the Chaos Emerald, Sonic and Shadow transform into their super forms to defeat the Bio Lizard once and for all. They then proceed to use Chaos Control to teleport the Ark back into a stable orbit around the Earth. The process, however, depletes Shadow's energy and is unable to remain in orbit, plummeting to Earth. To his content of his apparent death, he had fulfilled his promise to Maria. Humanity celebrates openly as the two teams solemnly express gratitude towards Shadow for his sacrifice and return to Earth, which then comes to the end of the most iconic story in Sonic the Hedgehog's history. Moving on to gameplay, you are introduced to 3 story modes, Hero, Dark, and Last Story, which isn't unlocked until you have beaten Hero and Dark Story. In each Hero and Dark Story, you are introduced to 3 mechanics. Sonic and Shadow are regular platform levels, which objects you to reach the end of the level. Tails and Dr. Eggman are based on shooting, allowing the player to control a mechanized robot walker and shoot their way to the end. I despise these sections the most, but it does bring back the reminiscent of E102 Gamma stages in Sonic Adventure. Knuckles and Rouge are based on hunting, allowing players to sort through the skies, digging into grounds, and much more to reveal the location of 3 shards as well as the 3 keys. During the plot, you are introduced to boss battles depending on the event that's happening. At the end of each stage, the player is given a score based on the number of rings collected and time spent within the level, rings being the factor here. Depending on the performance presented in the level, you are granted a grade that is either A, B, C, D, or E, with A being the highest and E being the lowest. After each level, you are presented with an emblem, which there are 180 of. If you are a completionist, you will be tempted to collect all 180 of them. You can also collect an emblem for beating all 3 stories, all 3 boss attacks, all 3 difficulties for the kart race, as well as completing the Chow races, Chow karate, and collecting all A ranks on all missions in each level as every character, which is tedious but very rewarding. Because of this, the replay value is sky high, especially if you are a completionist. If you are this type of gamer, I wish you the best of luck, because God only knows I'm having a hell of a time doing so. This game also features 2-player mode, where the characters from the Hero and Dark stories are able to play against one another in racing, shooting, and treasure hunting levels. Stages from the main 1-player mode are available, just slightly altered for competitive play. The goals for each stage are to defeat the player by completing a task first. Racing levels require the player to reach the goal ring. Shooting levels end when one walker runs out of energy, either by being destroyed by a competitor or falling off the stage. Idiot. Leaving the treasure hunting levels to be won when one character gets 2 of the 3 emerald shards. For this option to be available, you have to complete certain conditions in single-player mode. Additional characters include familiar characters from previous games, which are unlocked automatically in the battle port. Amy and Mel's Sonic complement Sonic and Shadow, Chow and Dark Chow complement Tails and Eggman, and Tikal and Chaos Zero complement Knuckles and Rouge. Alternative costumes are usable only in 2-player mode and vary in each version of the game by only collecting more emblems. Finally, we move on to the most adorable feature of the game, Chow World. Chow World holds the animal known as a Chow. They are meant to be raised and taken care of in the same manner as the human babies. Chow World incorporates 3 main areas, the Chow Gardens, the Chow Kindergarten, and the Chow Race Lobby. To start off raising a Chow, you must hatch the egg. As they start out, they crawl and are unable to swim. They get their stamina by feeding it fruit, which can be knocked off of trees and bought from the black market. When a Chow begins to grow up, it will eventually go into a cocoon stage to which it will transform. Depending on how Chow in the garden was raised and treated during childhood, it can become a generic Chow or a light or dark Chow. As soon as the Chow transforms, it has become either or. Depending on which type of Chow is transformed, you unlock the additional gardens, Hero and Dark Gardens. You unlock the Hero Garden by raising a Hero Chow, and the Dark Garden by raising a Dark Chow. To raise the Chow's abilities, you must collect either the animals that are scattered across each level, or the Chaos Drives that are inside the GUN robots. The Chow Kindergarten is where the player can take the Chow to have it named, have its health and stats checked, and have it learn new skills. You can also learn more about raising Chow by speaking to the principal at the office, so if you are stuck you can either speak to him or check out the game FAQs about raising Chow. My thoughts on this game is that it has aged well, especially the GameCube release. I am glad that they released this port on the PlayStation Network, which in total costs you $14. It's also on the Xbox Live Arcade for 800 Microsoft points. Time to time when I turn this game on to do what I want to do, I find myself bobbing my head to many of the songs on the game, my favorite being the Cosmic Wall stage. Jun Senyuo returned as a head composer for this game. Like the previous game, each character received an instrumental motif that serves as their theme song. The game features performance by returning vocalists Tony Harnell, Ted Poley, Marlon Saunders, Nikki Gregoroff, and Johnny Gioli, as well as the new vocalists Tabitha Fair, Todd Cooper, Paul Shortino, Everett Bradley, Kaz Silver, and Hunnid-P. Crash 40 officially debuted the theme song Live and Learn, which plays during the main menu, the final battle, and the ending credits. The voice acting is tremendous, but unfortunately their final act before 4Kids cast is presented in future 3D Sonic the Hedgehog games. It all really depends on what you desire the most. I personally love the voice acting in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 more than any future Sonic games. All in all, this game has made a huge impact in my life. Even to this day, I cannot drop the game. It is that addicting to me. This is speaking from every fan of the game as well. This is a game that brought me and my sister together, as well as me, my true friend in high school. This game has introduced me to many things in life, and I thank the game for it. With that revealed, I am the Blue Hedgehog 2010, wishing you the best of your day. Happy gaming, my friends.